Everyone, today we're going to be looking at the side cast. The side cast is probably the easiest cast to start with when you're starting out with a center pin. It'll let you cast really far. It does come with a couple of drawbacks, namely that it's going to cause a lot of line twist over time. So you may find that over a few outings, you either have to strip a few feet of line off your reel, or you might just have to let it sit in the current for a bit without a float on just to let it untwist. But when you're getting going, it's going to get you fishing really quickly. It's really easy to learn. So with the center pin, basically there are two ways that line can come off of the reel. The one is same way we dispense line through the drift, which is just letting it free spool. So we can cast like that. That would be called a Wallace cast, where we start up the reel and get it spinning for us. But it can be a little trickier to learn. The other way that line can actually come off this reel is off the side. You'll notice there's a gap between the foot of the reel and the spool here, so line can actually freely come off the side. Now if I was to turn that facing forward, that would actually look like a spinning reel where it coils off the face of the reel. We can create the same effect with the center pin by directing that line off of the side. So that's what we're going to try and do here, and you can see where that twist gets introduced here when you do that. So really the only key to this cast is to make sure that with our left hand we're going to scoop this line off the side and hold it perpendicular to the reel. So you can see it's coming square off the face there. That's going to let it freely coil off the side. If my hand goes up or down or at any angle or lets go of the line, it's going to fall back to its natural position. It's going to get caught up and it won't come off the face smoothly. So we can do that on any plane. I could do that, I don't know why I would, but this way I could do it upside down. I could do it on whichever side I want, as long as my hand is perpendicular relative to the reel there. So how that's going to look in the cast is this. You'll see I'm going to get my float to a comfortable spot, just a couple feet off the tip of my rod here, someplace comfortable I can cast from. And I'm going to take my fingers. Now you can hold the line in different ways. You can just use a couple of fingers to hold off the side. You can form a little circle with your fingers to hold it. You could use the palm of your hand, more like that. Anything works as long as it's being held off the side. You will hear some folks talk about when you do create a circle, you create little grooves in your hands that the line can get caught in. It might cost you a little bit of distance. It'll still work. The optimal is probably a little bit more of a flat surface with straight fingers or something like that. It doesn't really matter too much when you're getting going though. I'm going to hold that off to the side, and you'll see that I'm stopping the line from coming off the reel using these fingers here. So basically all I'm doing is I'm trying to hold the left hand in place, and then when I'm ready to release this cast at the end of my casting stroke, I'm just going to release with these fingers here. So what that looks like is this. You can see this hand stays in place and that float goes out no problem. Show it to you again. So I'm going to keep that line perpendicular to the reel here off the side. I'm going to swing my rod. It doesn't take a lot of force. We don't need to cast a mile usually with this. And I'm just going to release when I'm ready here. Sometimes what you'll see happen is after a cast, somebody will let go and it gets wrapped around the back of the reel like that. It's a quick fix. You can just draw it back up and in. But if you can, keep that line controlled off the side and then bring it back up so it doesn't hook around the back. That'll just get you fishing quicker with a little bit more control. And that is your side cast.